Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Blind Boys Politics. It's Nicholas Rod here and Chris Baker as well for another morning of news here on this Friday morning. Chris, start us off like we always do with the weather report.
In Los Angeles, California, it's partly cloudy and 71 with a partly cloudy weekend. In Houston, Texas, it is partly cloudy 82 with a partly cloudy weekend. In Chicago, Illinois, it is partly cloudy 85 with a cloudy weekend. In New York City, it's partly cloudy 74 with rain moving in Sunday.
At least it's not going to rain on Saturday. Very happy about that. Because Saturday is my birthday. I am getting older.
Good.
Oh, God.
Yes, you are. You're turning in quite to the old man. You're going to be 18, a big grown adult. I should buy you a lottery ticket.
That'd be wonderful.
If you win, I want half the money, though. Like, big time.
60-40.
Yeah, so you're turning older. It is what it is. Saturday's your birthday. It looks like it's going to be nice weather to have a beautiful party.
Yeah, we're not doing anything special. No party. But
there is a party because I got an invite.
Oh, did you now?
A self-invitation invite, but same time.
A self-invitation to the party that's not even happening.
I'll still find my way to your house, get some ice cream, get some cake.
Yeah, okay.
And then leave. I won't want to talk to you. I'll just take the cake and leave.
The entire cake just gone.
Oh, that's an idea. I could do that too.
I'm up here in my room, not even aware as to what's going on downstairs. While you're just walking in, taking the cake, leaving. Why can I see you doing that?
It's going to happen. Watch it happen, Nick. But it seems like neither one of us really have much to talk about besides me stealing your birthday cake. So I suppose we should get right into the news.
All right, yeah, let's do that. So we start off this morning with some information about flying and the penalties that we discussed a little while back now. And people must not have taken the warnings of wearing a mask on the plane seriously. The FAA announced some serious penalties for some specific passengers that are accused of some real ridiculous behavior on some recent flights. The most severe was a $32,750 fine for a female passenger on a JetBlue flight from the Dominican Republic to New York. The report says that the passenger refused to wear a mask multiple times, yelled at crew members, brought alcohol and food on the flight, and scratched a flight attendant. The plane in question had to turn around.
Another flight, someone was fined $16,500 for, this time it was a male on a flight, on a Southwest flight from Chicago to Sacramento, refused to wear a mask. When he was asked by flight attendants, he became very combative and was escorted off the plane and hit a flight attendant with his bag on the way out. And then there was two other passengers who were fined $9,000. The two were fined because they refused to wear a mask. And in case you forgot, federal law prohibits of assaulting a flight attendant or anyone else on the aircraft. The FAA is also strictly enforcing a zero tolerance on unruly passengers policy. This policy is set in place indefinitely.
Moving right along here, we have some news on Pfizer, as you can now get 12 to 15-year-olds vaccinated using the Pfizer vaccine, as the FDA just announced the expansion of the emergency use authorization for the Pfizer vaccination. That is in addition to it being approved for anyone over the age of 16. In clinical trials, it was found to be 100% effective against COVID-19. FDA says that Pfizer meets all of the requirements to amend the EUA. 12 to 15-year-olds will receive the same 2 doses at the same 3 weeks apart as everyone else.
During the trial for the 12 to 15-year-olds, the side effects were really similar to everyone else of the age above 16. The side effects being soreness, where the shot was given, tiredness, muscle pain, fever, and joint pain. Of those who experience these types of side effects, most experience them for about 1 to 3 days after their second dose. The vaccine should not be given to anyone with a known history of severe allergic reaction. The FDA report says that from March 2020 to April 2021, about 1.5 million cases were reported of the age of 11 to 17. And the FDA also says teenagers and adolescents have less severe effects of COVID-19 than adults, but can still spread COVID-19. And the CDC did approve the emergency use authorization Wednesday with a vote 14 to 1.
Sticking with the theme of vaccination, we have some news for those looking to get rides to their vaccination appointments. If you are one of these people who are in need of transportation, the White House is looking to get you there. Earlier this week, the Biden administration announced a partnership with Uber and Lyft to get you to and from your appointment. According to the president, people that want to use the program, you first need to select a vaccine near you and then use the offer code. Both Uber and Lyft say that they are the ones paying for the free rides, and they will be getting no money from the federal government. The 2 ride-sharing companies will be sharing the information in their apps. There are over 80,000 vaccine sites in the US, and Lyft has already said that they will offer $15 ride codes each way for each rider. Lyft says that this should cover all or almost all of the round trip. The codes to use Lyft will be available starting May 24th in their app. On the other hand, Uber has not yet disclosed the specifics for their plan, their program yet, but back in December, they had already committed to 10 million free or discounted rides to vaccination sites. Some states already have similar programs in place, but this rolls out the program nationwide. The program will be rolled out in the next 2 weeks, starting on May 24th and ending on July 4th.
Switching gears, looking at unemployment, it is going to become more and more difficult to get unemployment benefits if you haven't actually been looking for work or if you have turned down work. The president said, "We are going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment and offered a suitable job, you must take the job or you will lose unemployment benefits, plain and simple." The White House is also directing the Labor Department to work with states on reimposing work search requirements for those currently on unemployment. The work search requirements has really always been a part of qualifying for unemployment, but in some states it's been pretty relaxed because of the pandemic. Well, no more. Under the current law, workers are not allowed to turn down a suitable job because of non-specific concern about COVID-19. Workers can only turn down suitable work if you meet the criteria that are your child cannot go to school because of the pandemic, or the job being offered does not meet health requirements. Now, if it is the second one, by any safety violations being alleged must be documented and reported. And this comes after a lot of stories from business owners saying they can't find people to fill open positions, combined with a disappointing job report from last week. Now, the president maintains he does not see any evidence that the generous federal unemployment benefits are the singular reason for Americans not going back to work.
So we have an update for you and some more information for you regarding something we talked about last Friday in the fact that the prices of certain products are going up right now. Like we talked about on Friday, if you are noticing price increases in just about everything, It's not your imagination. The Bureau of Statistics released data this week to back it up. It turns out inflation has increased at the fastest pace since September of 2008. The Consumer Price Index measures the change in prices paid by consumers and services month by month. The most significant jump came from used cars, which has increased by 10%. This is the largest 1 month increase since 1953.
Overall, food prices went up, but on average, food products jumped 0.4% in April. Energy prices also increased in April, but according to the report, gas prices were down in April, but obviously they have gone up in the month of May. Everything like shelter, airfare, recreation, car insurance, and household furnishings rose 0.9% in April, and this is the largest increase in a month since 1982. Experts say don't put too much emphasis on just one report. You can find this entire report for more information on bls.gov.
Switching focus once again, moving over to Capitol Hill, Liz Cheney, a Republican from Wyoming, was voted out of her role as the third in command on Wednesday in the House after her disagreements with former President Trump over election fraud and her voting to impeach him after the January 6th attack. The conference vote took a short 18 minutes. Afterwards, she told reporters that she's not surprised and doesn't feel betrayed. She added that she will make sure former President Trump is never in office again. The Republican Party is set to vote to replace Cheney with New York's Elise Stefanik. She has been endorsed by former President Trump and Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Marjorie Taylor Greene did request to delay the vote until Friday after the removal of Cheney.
As I'm sure everyone is aware, the Colonial pipeline was shut down over the weekend, and it is now, as of Thursday morning, it was back up and running. After being shut down for a cyber attack over the weekend, as I'm sure you have all heard, that people started hoarding gas, and there was a real concern about it in some states. Colonial says that it will take 3 to 5 days to be fully operable again, where there won't be any change. It would be business as normal. There are states that were affected the most, like North Carolina. 77% of their gas stations were emptied. Georgia, 50%, South Carolina, 53%, and Virginia, 56%. Colonial is a private sector company, meaning they had to fight off the cyber attack themselves. Colonial did not answer if they paid a ransom, but it is believed that they did pay roughly $5 million. And Wednesday, President Biden did sign an executive order to strengthen cybersecurity defense, but the executive order does not affect privately owned business.
All right, that is the end of the main portion of the news. Now let's get into some rapid news. Ellen DeGeneres is ending her show after 19 seasons, saying that it is no longer a challenge.
Tesla is no longer accepting Bitcoin because it has a negative impact on the environment. Nick, tell me some good news. What do you got?
All right, so for this story, an emotional support dog managed to escape her owner's home in New York City. It was on an 8th-story apartment, managed to get in the elevator, past the doorman in the lobby, and made its way outside. Well, it was spotted throughout the city throughout the day over the next 10 hours, walking across the different subway tracks and all of that, just going on an adventure, really, evidently. And a transit worker around 8 p.m. that day, like I said, about 10 hours after the dog initially escaped, managed to spot it, managed to get it to walk over to him. He got her to lay down, and then he was able to pick her up and send her back on the 2 train back home. And it was said afterwards that she acted like she did absolutely nothing wrong. the owner, or the daughter of the owner really, took her home. And evidently, she just sat there looking like she was perfectly innocent for the whole thing. A bath and a broken nail later, she was perfectly fine, perfectly healthy, no injuries, nothing like that. But she made it home, back to her owner, and everything is great. And the transit worker received a certificate of commendation for his efforts, um, stating that he went above and beyond what he had to do. For someone in his position to save the dog.
Oh, that's a really great story, and that's kind of crazy that a dog went on a 10-hour tour, pretty much, of New York City,
Yeah, right.
and then made it home.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane because the owners saying in the article, they were scared. So many things could have happened to the dog, stolen, injured, or any of the like. But no, she was safe. She was rescued. She made it back home. Everyone's happy.
That's a great story, Nick. Good job finding your good news story. Have a great, happy birthday weekend. I will see you
Oh,
for the
thank you.
cake. But until then, everyone, make sure you follow us on Blind Boys Politics Twitter account for the latest 24-hour breaking news, so you're always in the know. Follow us on our personal accounts, and then we'll be back here Monday morning. Have a great weekend, everyone.
See you later.